Hey everybody, it's Quinella. It's been a while. I know I had a new schedule, so things have been rough, but this is my flag day set, so go ahead and let's get it popping. This is my setup. As y'all see, I got my drill bits, I got my polygel brushes, I got my clippers and all my nail clippers and my polygels, my buffers and filers, nail tips, dipping tray, the works, lint free wax, my jewels, my dehydrated primer, all the little polishes that I would need, my gloves, my alcohol, which is 91%. Excuse my baby in the background. And yeah, so let's get it started. I'm gonna go ahead and prep these toes, just getting into the cuticle area, taking off any old polygel that I still have on my toes. And yeah, just really getting in there, making sure that this toes are prepped for the application. So, and I did speed it up because I just felt like this time we didn't need to have to watch in slow-mo everything. So some of parts of this video will be sped up, but I'll be jumping in and out, just giving you guys like a heads up of what I'm doing. So again, I'm just using one of my smaller drill bits and I'm going in the corners of my cuticles and basically just cleaning those out. Afterwards, I'll be using a few other drill pieces, as y'all will see, like my ballpoint drill piece and my sanding band and stuff like that, just to do a regular prep like I usually do. So yeah, go ahead and just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. I'll be back. Okay, after a good prep, this is going to be the glue that I'm using, and these are the tips that I'm going to be adding on my toes. Yes, I'm adding tips on my toes. That's just me being extra. I feel like it helps me get the shape that I want with the PolyGel instead of having to fight so hard. With the PolyGel, just trying to get the shape. I just feel like I said, putting them tips on just make it easier for me. So I'm gonna be sizing these toes up with these tips, okay? And we're gonna get that together. Nothing major. We'll be doing that for both toes. And then after here, you'll see me go in with my Models 1 dehydrator. Right there you go, the Model 1 dehydrator. And of course, you want to dust your toes off. Yes, I did use my dusting bit to make sure I got in those cuticles and those corners and shit like that, just to make sure that everything's good to go. We got a nice clean surface. Then we're gonna go ahead and add that dehydrator on the toes just to help the tips stick better. I don't know, that's just my thing. And now we're gonna just add the glue to the tips, and then we're gonna just apply the tips. That toe did come out, that nail itself just came out really crooked. I did not like it, so I do end up fixing it later on throughout the video. But yeah, overall that's it. And then I feel like if you do mess up throughout the tip process, as you see, you just drill the extra glue that you had on there off your toe and off the tip, and then boom, you can just apply it, and as you see, voila, it's went on no problem. So yeah, gluing tips on your toes is not the easiest process. Again, I feel like the dehydrator helps. And sometimes you may need to have your lamp handy so you can kind of dry as it goes. See, look, my pinky toe was definitely fighting with me. So yeah, just guys, again, don't be irritated with your toes. So you see, I'm gonna go in with the acetone, and we're taking this tip off because I didn't like how it was sitting. It was definitely crooked. Y'all could see that. I'm not perfect, hey, it happens. So I'm just taking some of that acetone. I got it on my brush, and yeah, I'm doing just literally dipping my brush in the acetone, and see how easy that came off after I did that. And then I'm just gonna take my sanding band and file that, any extra nail and glue and all that stuff off my toe, give myself a clean canvas again. We're gonna grab another tip, and of course we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna just apply the tip, make sure we hit it again with some dehydrator beforehand, and hello, we're gonna put this tip back on, no problem. Okay, you see it's a lot straighter now. So yes, I do use my little nail clippers, sizers with the magnets to go ahead and clip my toes. I like them to be completely even. Yes, this is too long. No, I'm not leaving them like this, but it just helps me get a nice basis for how I want my toes to look as far as shape and length goes. I usually take them down with the filer. I don't like to get too crazy with the clippers. So you see, I'm using my filer, same filers as I usually use. So yeah, and then I'm just, as you see, taking it down at the top, trying to get that shape and the length that I'm needing, because who wants long toenails? Not me. However, so I just always tend to do them a little bit longer than necessary during the clipping process. So yeah, that's just all I'm going to be doing here. And then another part of this process is going to be taking away the shine from the nail tips, as well as the little lip. So you'll see me going in with my sanding band in a minute, and I'm gonna be taking away that natural shine from those nail tips, and I'm gonna blend in the lip from the tip in my natural nail bed. So yeah, I will be back in a few just to explain some more. Enjoy. Okay, so my big toe did have a little PolyGel left over from my last set. So here you're going to see me putting in the works, trying to get the rest of that PolyGel off. I do recommend soaking or, doing other methods instead of just filing and drilling and stuff, because it does make for a weaker nail bed. But overall, I don't do this that often, so my toes are fine. My fingers and everything are healthy. I feel like you just need to know how to do it. Don't be applying too much pressure. All you're trying to do is get the polygel off. Keep your drill at a low setting when you're doing stuff like this. But yeah, and then now we're going to start with the big toe prep. As you see, I got my annoying behind GoFos. Yes, my annoying behind GoFos. They were fighting with me to begin with. So as y'all see here, I was trying to get them on. Nope, I had to 86 that. I had to take my gloves off because they were sticking to the gloves as well. So we're going to try again, take 2. And I just put them underneath the toenail that I do have, and I just, try to get it into shape as much as possible. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I really hate fighting with them little do form things. They get on my nerve, but I'm showing you I got my alcohol, and that's the polygel that I will be using. Yes, it's glow in the dark. Y'all already know me. That's one of my signature things. I do the glow in the dark. So I'm just opening up this polygel because it has the little tip thing on it. Y'all know what I forgot to do? I forgot to oh, no, never mind. Here goes. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm definitely forgetting something. So always dehydrate before you start applying stuff. So here we are now using the polygel to create a longer tip for my toes. And all I'm doing is just putting a little bit on the tip and spreading it out, trying to give it the shape that I'm looking for. Also, in a sense, blending it in with my natural nails so there's not too much of a lip or anything going on there. As y'all see, it was a little curved, so I just opened it up a little bit and fixed that. So now we're going to go on the lamp for 30 seconds, and we're going to hit the other side as far as our tips and get to it. So y'all seen what I did on my left foot. We're going to do the same on my right foot. Alright, so I did say 30 seconds, but I ended up doing longer in the mix of trying to get my right foot together. So as y'all see, I did forget to dehydrate 2 of my toes. So I remembered, as you see. So I'm now priming, I keep saying priming, dehydrating the last 2 toes that I forgot to do. So that's what's happening there. And I'm just applying the tips. So this pinky toe was being funny. So I was trying to fix it with the little brush on glue, but it wasn't happening. So as you see, I'm just going to drill off everything and put on a new tip for that one. So now I'm just checking on that dual form and seeing how my tip came out. I did feel like there was something missing on the corner over there. So as y'all see, I'm just applying another dual form, finna get it into shape again, fighting with it, as y'all see. And I'm just gonna go ahead with some more polygel and fix the tip to my liking, because I just didn't like it. If y'all can see, that corner's kind of curved. I like my corners real sharp. So sometimes I add extra polygel over there just to make sure that I can get them sharp corners like I want to. So that's what y'all see me doing right now, is just fixing them corners so they can get sharp. See, look at that. That's along my style. That's what I like. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. let's just say things was going very well with this tip, and then boom, yeah. So I just simply took some alcohol and wiped off all that PolyGel that I just wasted, basically. Give myself a clean surface and try again, because the dual form basically moved out of place, and I wasn't feeling like I'm not gonna fight to try to get it back into place with the PolyGel on. Some of the hardest thing to do. So we just restarted that, put a new dual form on, and we're taking 2. As my right toe is drying, we're gonna take a look at the left toe, and yes, I know it doesn't look like much now, but that freaking tip is beautiful. We'll shape it up and everything later, but it's beautiful. Now, as y'all see, I told you I was gonna do this earlier. We're gonna take the lip away. I did have to cut out some of that video because it was a lot going on, but that's what I was doing real quick before it flipped to me going back to my other foot. So I'm just back on my right foot doing my big toe tip, fixing that up. But yeah, as you see on my left foot, I went ahead and blended that lip from my smaller toes, and I'm just now dehydrating them again, like the whole toe this time, so I can go ahead and start my application. You could do usually, I was just gonna say, there goes the primer. I know I sometimes forget to do the primer after dehydrating when I'm about to actually start my application. I don't really feel like it makes a difference. It's based off of your preference. But yeah, it's definitely up to you. As you see though, I hit it with that primer, and now I'm just gonna apply my PolyGel. Now, I feel like I did do a little too much when it comes down to this PolyGel. I should have just went straight in with the glow in the dark and left it as is. However, I tried to do some glow in the dark bottoms with the color changing effect, which it didn't really come out too well, because as y'all know, the glow in the dark will change colors based off the glow, and then so was the color changing. And not only that, but I don't really feel like I was in too many different temperatures for y'all to really see the change for real. So like in the beginning, if y'all looked at the video of the glow version of them when they were glowing, you could see kind of like there's like this kind of discoloration thing going on, and that's why, because I used glow in the dark and color changing PolyGel for this set. So I don't know what I was trying to do, something different, you feel me? But yeah, okay, here we go. So now you can see me fully blending or taking away that nail shine, and blending the tip to my natural nail bed. I just feel like that helps with the application, so it's not bulky and stuff like that. So of course, again, we're going to hit it with the dehydrator. We're putting in our toe separators. Definitely do that before start application. Go ahead with your primer, and then y'all just enjoy the application. When dealing with PolyGel, we know that there's going to be this sticky, tacky layer. So I just use my alcohol to wipe that off in between, like when I'm rotating my toes and stuff, to help with not catching that lint. I said lint. The lint. There you go. But yeah, so that's why you see me do that in between, because I knew I was gonna rotate my toes, and I was also gonna get ready to start filing. So again, just having that sticky layer off is definitely the way, because I'm gonna tell you, boo-boo, if you start filing or doing anything with your drill with that sticky layer still on, you failed. You failed. So this is the color changing polygel that I decided to use. It is green. It was supposed to complement my set. If I liked how it came out, I wouldn't use no green polish. I would have just went straight in with the flat color like that. But overall, I wasn't liking. I played around with it off camera, and I wasn't liking how it looked. And not only that, I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. This color changing polygel for me was real runny. I don't know about nobody else, if y'all have the same experience if y'all used this brand before, but this specific brand, definitely to me felt like it was kind of runny. So I was like fighting with the polygel in a sense. So I decided, hey, let me just do a smaller bead. So as you see, I went in with a smaller bead. Mind you, you need small beads for your toes anyway, but still, because this was going to be my foundation, I was, just trying to make sure it was really good. Because I was assuming in my mind that I was gonna just use it like this with no polish, and just to make my flag, but it just didn't work like that. So I'm just giving y'all the heads up, talking y'all through why I made the decisions that I made for this set, because sometimes you have an idea in your head, but it don't come out the way that you want to, so you have to improvise, and that's what you see going on with this set today. So due to things going the way that they were going with that color changing polygel, I did decide to just go straight in with my glow in the dark gel for my big toe. It was just like, you know what, why make the step harder and do a double up on a toe? I just used the glow in the dark one for my big toe, and so that's what I did. But I realized, hey, I didn't file my toe yet, so let me go ahead and file and shape this toe real quick. As y'all seen, I did the sticky layer already, so there wasn't no sticky layer on there when I just did that. So now that I feel like I got the toe towards my liking, I'll be able to go in with that. And then I'm a little bit all over the place sometimes, so instead of just finishing my big toe like I was going to, I went ahead and just finished the other ones. So yeah, overall, that's just a little quick what just happened. now that majority of my polygel is applied, I needed to let my toes breathe from that separator. So I went ahead and took the separator off so I could just kind of file my big toe and get it prepped for application, because I still didn't apply the rest of my big toe. And I know y'all probably were like, well, why didn't you just apply the whole big toe at the same time when you used the tip? I just wanted to create the tip first and then just apply it over, because honestly, that's just my preference of how I do it, plus the way I use the dual forms, some of it being the way of my whole nail bed. So that's just how it came out. One of the most important things is trying to have even toes. So this set was, in my opinion, a little lopsided. One of my toes looked better than the other, and that's just my personal opinion. I always strive for my big toes to look the same, but honestly, I didn't feel like keep fighting with it, because I knew I wasn't going to leave the set on for too long anyway. Because I was I already had my next set in mind. So however, I am going to try to even it up as best as possible. So you're going to see me go in with another dual form. Yes, another dual form. And then I decided, hey, you know what? Do I feel like struggling with another dual form? No, I don't. So I decided to just leave it as is. Like I said, I wasn't going to leave the set on for too long anyway. And yeah, so that's just how that went. And I figured, worst case, I can fix it with the PolyGel, like how I'm trying to do now, as y'all see. So yeah. And this is, so like, for example, if you didn't want to use tips for your toes, that's how you would pretty much do it. How I'm using this PolyGel to pretty much create what I wanted to create on that corner. Because that one of the corner wasn't sharp enough. Okay, that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. One of the corners wasn't sharp enough, so I added the PolyGel, and basically stretched it out and made it a corner, if that makes sense. But yeah. Alright folks, so now again we're just going to go back in with our lint-free wipes and our alcohol. We're going to hit all our toes, make sure that we get all the sticky layer off and everything that we could possibly get off of that toe. We're going in with the filer and we're just going to be shaping these toes now. You'll also see me go in with my drill bit as well, my sanding drill bit, my buffer, stuff like that. Y'all know how I file. So in the end of the day, y'all will see me doing that throughout this process, just filing, shaping, buffing, sealing the cuticles, things like that, just to make sure that this set is now ready for designing. Another thing I truly recommend is making sure that your nail is completely dry before you start going in and filing and messing with it. So as you see here with my pinky nail, I did have some rub off because, wow, it wasn't completely dry. Luckily, I caught it and it was dry enough that it didn't destroy my filer. And I have other filers anyway, but still. So I just hit it with a little bit of more dehydrator, and I just went back in with that color changing PolyGel, and I am going to be fixing this now and just making sure it cures fully this time. Okay, and sealing your cuticles is very important, so I'm using my fine ballpoint drill bit. Ooh, that was a tongue twister. I'm gonna be using that there to go ahead and seal in my cuticles though. So after I use my sanding drill to go ahead and sand them out, make sure they same level and everything look good, I'm now sealing the cuticles, and that's pretty much more or less all I'm gonna be doing as far as drilling, filing, shaping, buffing. Okay. So now that I'm done drilling, filing, shaping, buffing, I'm going to go ahead again with my 91% alcohol and my lint-free wipes. And I am now again cleaning my canvas. Yes, I'm going to be getting all the dust off of there. As you see, I'm paying really close details into the cuticles and everything. It's just you don't want any grit and grain when you're going to go start applying your polishes or anything like that. So that's what I did there, and that's why I did it. So now you see I chose the color green that I'm going to be going in for my Flag Day set. I tried to rearrange the camera. Y'all don't be coming for my fat or like my eczema that's on my ankles, on my knees and shit. You know, like I'm a person just like you guys. Anyway, so yeah, I chose that polish because I just felt like it was the closest to what the vibe that I was going for the Jamaican flag. So as y'all see, I'm going to be going in with a few different coats of this polish. And like I said, I feel like I'm not the best painter when it comes to my toes. I feel like I always mess up. So if you see me cleaning up and fixing it up, hey, that is what it is. I'm a person. Okay. I said I'm a person. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing there is just fixing that up, putting them polishes on there, mainly just this green polish. We're going to go in with a few coats, and that's going to be for both feet. And then afterwards, I'll come back in after just to talk you over how I decided to do the flag using the yellow and the black. All right, so now it's time to add some details and let this be known that it is a flag. So I'm going to take one of my brushes, one of my smaller brushes, and I'm going to go ahead and basically just be doing an X on my toes. I did have to order some finer brushes after this because I realized, this brush is not as small as I would like it to be to do what I needed to do. However, yeah, so I'm just going to be doing that on the toes that I do decide to put the flag on. I'll be just making a X. And then, yeah, I did decide to go over the yellow like once or twice, just to make sure that it was popping out the way that I wanted to pop out. I did have to do some cleanup, because my lines weren't as straight, so don't come for me. Like I said, I feel like having finer brushes would have definitely helped me get this design a little better. But overall, it still was a very cute set. There are going to be times where you're going to see me wipe off because I don't like how it looks. So anytime I'm wiping off, that's just me going in. Believe it or not, I'm not using acetone to wipe off. I'm actually using alcohol. So, yeah, you can use the alcohol to wipe off if they're still tacky or whatever. You can use the acetone, but I just use the alcohol, especially when it's fresh. Like if it's a fresh paint, then just, I just use my lint-free wipe and dip it in my little alcohol real quick and boom. So that's it. And then as you see, I'm going to just be going back in and retrying that. I did switch to a little smaller brush because this toe is smaller. And I realized I did have a smaller one. So I did kind of just switch it to try to help me out, get a better cross, and it did come out a little better. And so I'm going to do the same thing for my other foot. Okay, so as you see, I am just going back over the yellow lines, just to basically make them pop the way that I want them to. I feel like in the mix of doing this though, I did make my lines a little crooked. So, but it's like not as noticeable as it probably could have been. So, hey, no biggie. I did have to brace myself for this next part. Now I'm going in with the black, trying to fill in the rest of the flag. I am doing my big one, trying to make sure that I am not making my lines crooked and bleeding into the yellow. I wanted to keep the yellow as best as possible. I did use the black though to fix any yellow that I went over on the green. So I guess it was just, girl, just try your luck type. You know, try your luck type. So I did end up having to skip through some of that process because I'm gonna tell you, my camera kept going in and out of view because I was kept leaning in and out trying to make sure that I'm getting those black pieces filled in right. So yeah, I do apologize that y'all weren't able to see that full process as far as me putting on the black or whatever. But I'm doing some top coat. I did some top coat, and that's what you see sitting over my other foot sitting over there doing, and then that's what I'm doing here as well, just applying some of that top coat. I always do my top coat before I do any jewels, any extra anything. Top coat before anything. I just feel like that it just gives an extra shine, an extra finish. That's my opinion. You may not feel that way. I understand, but that's just me. So I'm putting my top coat on, and then now I'm finna go in with this fine design pen, and I'm just making a little line, like an outline for the toe. I feel like the outline came out pretty good. You know, I'm not gonna complain too much. It wasn't meant to be something too extra. It was just meant to kind of add some red into the set. You know, besides the jewels that I will be adding, I just wanted to add just a little bit of red there. So on my two toes there, I just added that little outline, and that'll be happening for both of my feet. I'm going to let them dry underneath the lamp, and then after I do so, I'm going to go ahead and just top coat them again. before I add any jewels or anything like that. As you see, I did mess up a few times on these outlines because I like my outlines to be a certain way, especially because I knew I was going to be putting a jewel on that toe specifically. And the outline still didn't come out how I wanted to, but I realized, hey, you're putting a jewel on that toe anyway, so you won't be able to tell. But yeah, that's pretty much what is going on here. I'll be back if I feel like anything else needs to be said. Overall, the set is about done. All I'll be doing is adding these jewels on, like you see. Just me adding those jewels on. I did make a last minute decision to add a bow on my big toe, because I was gonna just stick with the weed plant or the weed leaf on the middle toe, but then I decided, let's try something different. And then I'm using my PolyGel to glue on my stone. When I tell you, using my PolyGel to glue on those jewels definitely made the removal process a lot harder. Them jewels stayed on the whole time, boo. Yeah, I will say the whole time, boo. And I really understand why I use the PolyGel, because I just told y'all I wasn't gonna be leaving the set on for that long. But I was doing this because I was testing out something. I didn't like the placement of that jewel though, so I went ahead and wiped off the PolyGel, and you're gonna see me go in, because I have to clean it up afterwards, obviously. So you just see me clean it up with my brush with it, and that's just alcohol on there, just cleaning up all the stickiness from the PolyGel. Okay, then I'm gonna retry that. But again, you don't have to use PolyGel to secure your gems, but if you would like your gems to stay in place for longer than a little bit, then girl, yeah, use your PolyGel to glue it down. Did I use too much? Heck yeah, I very much did. And so I'm now trying to scrape some off to get it even. But it is what it is. We just gonna apply these gems. I already did my top coat and everything like that, so we're good to go. This set is pretty much done. And this is where I was deciding, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Am I gonna add this bow? So you remember I told you I made a last minute decision. Here it is. Alright guys, so now that I went ahead and added my jewels and I got my toes to my liking, I'm going to just add the cuticle oil real quick. So they pretty much are looking good. You know, we still did. Oh, and that's another thing I forgot before I started. When you're using PolyGel or even the Rhinestone Glow, I like to remove that little sticky layer that I be feeling like be around. When after you apply like the Rhinestone Glue or the PolyGel, I feel like sometimes it be a still sticky layer or whatever. So I just rubbed that off with the alcohol and the lint-free wipe. And of course, you see my toes was looking, definitely they was looking ashy and stuff from all the dusting and filing and stuff or whatever. And I put on this cuticle oil, mind you. I forgot that I was gonna soak my toes afterwards. Yes, I did say that. Soak my toes afterwards. I prefer soaking my toes after I do my set. And the reason why is because I feel like when you do it beforehand, your toenails actually hold a lot of that water and stuff, so the retention time is not as much. I use my detox sea salt, and I just soaked for a little bit. I sped this process like all the way up because it wasn't nothing serious. My feet not too bad, so I just soak, and then I scrub my bottom of my feet real good. And after I do that, I ran out of my like exfoliating socks, so I didn't do that this time. I'm just scrubbing, basically making sure I keep my soft bottom feet, because ain't nobody got time for a rough bottom foot chick. So yeah, so I'm just going to be scrubbing that off. And then after that, that's pretty much it. I'll be going in with some oil, give myself a nice little rub down, making sure my toes look good. Yeah, I moved that out the way. Here comes the oil. And like I said, I just did some cuticle oil on my toes again. And then after I did the cuticle oil, I got my baby oil and I rubbed my feet and my legs down, because why can't I pamper myself? Excuse my kids in the background because it took all these voice messages to get through this, and they decided to get real active. It is what it is. I hope y'all enjoyed my video. Nothing major, just again my Flag Day set. I'm sorry it took me so long to post. Like I said, I got a new schedule. Working the night shift is not for the week. I'm working all the way overnight, but here are the finishing results. I think they look really well. Thank y'all so much again for watching. Subscribe and like.